yeah, now I wanted to go into the first question, right? And I really like, I don't know the answers, so this is gonna be like a surprise for
Mm.
me, right? The question, the answers to the questions. But the first question, can you like briefly describe how was it before that first call? Remember when we jumped on the
Mm.
first call and we went to everything? Like, how was your life back then? What were you thinking about? What were the struggles?
Mm. So obviously, I've got to a point where I realized I needed to change something. Um, well, me and my wife, we set ourselves some goals a few years ago to get more
Mm,
physically healthy. We wanted to get more spiritual and more financially stable, and we had a whole bunch of things going. And for everything to
mm,
be put in place, obviously, you have the book plan and then you have the real world plan, and nothing that goes according to the book plan. So, final. But we kept at it, alhamdulillah. And then the
mm,
one part that was really lacking was the physical activity side. So, getting healthier,
mm,
eating healthier, exercising, things like this. Alhamdulillah, I've got a lot more spiritual over the years. She's got a lot more spiritual over the years. We started learning more about our Deen, learning more about Islam and so on, and that helped us a lot. Um, but then with the physical side, there was just this mental block, and it's just that it's a mental block to get out and do
mm.
something about it. We in a routine with the kids and work and school and studies and it's
Yeah.
not like there's not enough time. There is time, but there's this mental block that's just stopping you from getting off from the bed or when you're tired or going to the gym and that's what needed to
Mm.
be broken, and I think that's what pushed me to reach out to you the first time.
That's interesting. Yeah, I
Mm.
remember we talked a lot about that. You were
Mm.
in this kind of this block, like you mentioned. I find it really interesting, by the way. Like you mentioned, alhamdulillah, you were already on the journey, getting closer to Allah, right?
Yes.
Learning more about the Deen. And I think this is really important just because, so two things, right? Like just because, it's really important. Like that's the most important thing to get close to Allah, right? We all should prioritize that. We should never procrastinate that because we never know when we're going to die.
Mm.
So,
Mm. Mm.
so that's always something you need to do. But just because you're doing that, it doesn't mean number one is going to solve everything. Like you still need to work on other things. Just because
Mm.
you get close with Allah doesn't mean that magically you know you're gonna be financial free. You're gonna have six pack. Like, it doesn't happen like that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Allah is gonna test you. Even subhanallah, like even you maybe seen that when you get close to Allah, the more problems can happen because Allah want to test you, right? See, okay, you're
Mm.
saying that you believe, like it says in Quran. You say that you believe. You think you're not going to be tested? Let's see what you
Yeah.
say now, right? With all the tests. So I think it's really important to also say that get closer to Allah, but don't forget the other things. Like take care of your family, take care of your body, take care of your whatever, right? Um, very interesting, mashallah. Okay, so we jumped on the call, right? We talked a little bit, and how long time was it? It was like possibly like 3 4 months ago. Like it started the
Yeah.
year, right?
2 months ago, two
Mashallah.
two or 3 months ago, not too long
Yeah,
back.
yeah, mashallah.
Mm.
Okay, so now what happened? We got started, and what kind
Mm.
of results did you see? I remember I saw like the first few weeks were
Yeah.
amazing results. So tell about that.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah, it's been not without a challenge. But since I've called, like I said, we just knocked the first brick down from that wall, that mental block. And from there,
Mm,
it's about reminding myself and just to knock another brick down. So from that call, we went, and then I just went with the highest motivation, all out, extreme on the
mm.
diet, running every day, exercising every day. And from then up until now, I think I lost about 14 kilos. Alhamdulillah.
Mashallah.
Yeah.
14 kilos, Allah Mubarak. I was not expecting that. I thought it
Yeah.
was like less than that, like 8 or something. But
I
mashallah.
started on 111 kilos. I'm now down to 97. and alhamdulillah,
Alhamdulillah,
it's a downward trend, although there are spikes and setbacks here and there, and obviously you have days where you indulge a little bit more than what you should. But alhamdulillah, over the long
yeah.
term, there's definitely been improvements, downward trend. I've seen big improvements in things like being able to recite longer ayah of the Quran because I can hold my breath longer.
Wow.
So things like this, where I see small
Subhanallah.
improvements and big wins, having more energy to wake up for tahajjud, uh,
Mm.
so I definitely see the benefits in my everyday life, which I'm not willing to give up. So I have more motivation to fight to get healthier and more fit because I can see it relate to my ibadah. Improvement.
Alhamdulillah.
Mm.
MashaAllah. I didn't know that, mashallah.
Yeah.
I know that like if you get healthier, it's gonna help you better. No,
Yeah.
like no matter what's gonna be, like you said, you're gonna wake up for tahajjud more easier. Maybe if you're fasting, it's gonna be easier.
Mm.
Whatever you're gonna do, it's gonna be easier because you're doing the ibadah with your body. If the
Yes.
body is 50-50, it's not gonna be it's like driving a really old car. You never know, like it's gonna break down or not, right? No, mashallah.
Yeah, and
Alhamdulillah.
it's also
And like you said,
sorry,
sorry.
like a mental there's this mental strengthening. For example, if you're out, I mean, I'm not the most athletic guy, but I mean, if I'm out and I need to run another kilometer and my body's giving in and I can push myself mentally to do that, I can come home and recite a few pages of the Quran and then get tired and say, hey, but I can push through a few more. You know what I mean? It's that mental strength that you see every day and that keeps you going.
Yeah, you get that mental strength, right? So it went from block to mashallah,
Yeah.
I don't know, power, right? Mashallah. And I like that you said that it was not without challenge, because I think we need to be honest. I think that's so important. Like we cannot, you know, lie to ourselves and say, "Oh, it went without issues," and
No.
everything's gonna have issues. Everything's gonna be difficult. Like you said, you're gonna have days where you indulge, like you said, and eat.
Mm.
I don't know, going crazy, right?
Mm.
Here in Dubai, I know you're in Dubai right now, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things in Talabat, you can order,
Yeah.
mashallah.
Dude, the challenges are real. It's real, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
How did you go? Like, how did you fight through them? Like, or what if you can just a few challenges? What was it like?
so,
Were you tired, or what happened, and how did you get back from it? I think that's
so,
really nice to hear.
so the start thing is to have an end goal in mind, and to really identify small victories. So it's easy to say the big
Mm.
picture. I want to have a six pack and I want to be able to run a marathon, but obviously you're not going to achieve that in a day or in an hour. Like I told you on our first call, I came from Ummah. I realized that I was so tired and I've got small kids and I want to do things with them and go play with them, but I never had the energy when before we started this journey. So
Yeah.
now I realize I can take small victories. For example, not drinking a soda. Let's say we're going out to eat and I can drink water or not have something unhealthy. I can choose a healthier option, and I see it as a small victory. Or
Mm.
or let's say like where we work, we have buffet at work every day for lunch, huge buffet. So it would be a victory for
Mm.
me to maybe skip lunch, even though I'm not fasting that day, and then just have supper, a decent meal of supper, and that's enough for the day. I don't need to overindulge. Um,
Yeah.
and those small
That's,
victories add up after time. You'll see it on the scale, you see it on the measuring tape. And yeah, like I said, that's all you need for you knock them down one small victory at a time. Eventually, it leads to one bigger victory. Mm.
I love that. I really love that. I think it made me think of two things: one hadith and one ayah.
Mm.
In
Okay.
ayah is وَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you are thankful, we will give you more. So
Mm.
basically, if you're thinking about it, like if you're winning, you're having a win. You're not. You could see it negative, like a negative thing, like oh, I wanted to eat that food. It was so nice, and you're negative, right?
Mm.
But you're
Mm.
not. You're
Yeah.
thinking, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, you say Alhamdulillah, I got the water instead of the soda, right? So you're thanking Allah, and Allah will give you more, right? And the hadith I'm thinking about is when the Prophet ﷺ said, وَأَنَّ أَحَبِّ الْأَعْمَالِ إِلَى اللَّهِ أَدْوَامُهَا وَإِنْ قَلَّ, that the most beloved deeds, the action Allah loves the most, are those that are consistent, even if they're few. So you said, don't look at the bigger picture. That's exactly what this hadith is, right? Take these small steps, small wins, and that's what Allah loves. As long as you can be consistent, and that's what you've been, right? Even khalas, yani, you're not perfect. There's probably been moments you fell off
definitely,
track, right?
Definitely,
Yeah.
And it's hard to get demotivated. It's hard. I mean, there's days where the scale doesn't move. There are days where the scale goes the wrong direction. But alhamdulillah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Say it's not about instant gratification or instant results. It's about long term. If I look over the term since we started, I can definitely see vast improvements, mentally, physically. So it's
Yeah, mashallah. May Allah give you even more, bro. May Allah give you barakah and everything, mashallah.
Shukran.
What's the goal now? So you lost 14. What will be the next milestone?
My big plan now, or the big short-term goal now, is to break 90, get below 90 before I go back to SA. I've got a few. I'm already planning on running a few 21Ks in SA with some of my friends. And I've always in the years that I've been running with him, I've always been the last man, and it's the curse of the last man. So I'd like to break that before I go back to SA, inshallah.
Make him the last man, bro.
Yeah. It's the curse of the last man. We'd run in the mountains or something, and then they'd wait for me, and as soon as I catch up to them, they move in again. So I didn't even get a chance to.
Yeah, so you cannot even rest long time. SubhanAllah. I like that. Okay, so you at 97, right? You said 97, I think? 97?
I'm at 97, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it's like 7-8 kilos more, mashallah. Easy peasy, inshallah. Inshallah. You just make a lot of
dua. With the goal, like lining up with our spiritual intentions, it now becomes easier for me to fast Mondays and Thursdays, because I know not just ibadah motivation, there's also a little sideline physical benefit, losing an extra few grams. And I mean, I have the motivation, even after a long day fasting, after Asr, I can still go to gym or go run.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, so that mental motivation, it translates into physical energy that time of the day. It's crazy.
I love that. So okay, so what would you say? Let's wrap it up with this last question. So what would you say to someone that is sitting there where you were before our first call, with that mental block, with those challenges? Like, what would you say to that person?
I would say be honest with yourself. Just sit down, forget about everyone's opinions, forget about the rest of the world, and ask yourself, are you happy with your life? If you are truly happy with your life, sitting, watching TV, watching the phone, eating, whatever you're doing, then you're happy with your life. But if you're not, no one's going to change it if you don't change it. I mean, your friend, no one's going to tell you that, dude, you need to change something, or you know what I mean. It's yourself. It really comes from yourself, and you go out and you do something, anything. Move a little bit more and eat a little bit less. It doesn't have to be overnight. It doesn't have to be the biggest change. It starts with a small change, and inshallah, be true and make dua, and you'll get there, inshallah.
MashaAllah. That was good, bro. That motivated me, man. I feel like I want to go take a run now, MashaAllah. That's true. MashaAllah. I love that. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, that was everything I wanted to hear from you, man. Are there any last things, anything you would like to add? Maybe I haven't asked about, or you feel you
No,
said everything you needed.
no, I think I covered most of the things. It's one thing that I haven't mentioned. It's look, it's the whole fear of the unknown. I was before we spoke the first time. I told you I was fearful of the gym. I'm a bit of an introvert. I don't like going out. I don't like doing
Mm,
things. And since I'm knocking down these little bricks, I took on bigger and bigger challenges. I started to learn Arabic. You know what I mean? Things that I was
mm,
fearful in the past, I now don't see as this impossible mountain to climb. I realize that I can take on bigger challenges one step at a time. And that's it
mashallah.
sounds a very simple lesson to learn, but it's uh, not as easy to put in practice. Mm,
I think we all like,
yeah,
even for me, like this challenge always. I think that's just the human
yeah,
nature, the shaitan and the
yeah.
nafs. And so we need to do the jihad, like people
Mm,
talk about, like jihad and nafs, to really take control, 100%. SubhanAllah. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. That was everything I wanted to hear. So, Jazakallah khair. I will end it now, and then we can have a little after chat.
okay,
Inshallah.
cool. Shukran for you, bro.
Jazakallah.